We saw this like, did you see that Oppo smartphone like optical zoom
Yeah, I saw this
camera
video.
thing?
Yeah. Okay, so I'll try to describe it. It's described in their caption as Oppo's retractable camera.
That's why I was confused.
So I'm not exactly sure if it's zoom or if it's focus or what's happening, but what's happening in this video is imagine a camera bump where you have a square for one of the cameras and that square moves out of the phone slightly.
Yeah.
So it moves out and moves back in, which is something that happens with a lot of larger lenses when you zoom, but it doesn't say if it's for zoom or not.
Yeah, and it also happens like, it looks exactly like that on like some of those point and shoot cameras that have a zoom where like you're not physically turning the lens. It's just like it's automatically bringing the lens in and out and retracting in and out.
Yeah.
But I was just trying to figure out, what it was. You said might be focus.
So there's two ways that I read this. One would be super cool. One would be kind of pointless.
Okay.
Which one should I do first?
Do pointless first.
So the kind of pointless one would be I'm reading the side of this camera and it says 1/1.56 inch, 50 millimeter, f2.4. That's one single focal length, 50 millimeters. So you know how we have these periscope lenses that are tilted into the side of the phone and use mirrors so that you have a deeper actual lens and then a mirror to just shoot out the side?
Yeah.
This could just be, this camera is useless until it protrudes out and then it protrudes straight out and it's that same mechanism, just not sideways in the phone.
So
So it's a single focal length.
Only works when it's protruded.
Only works when it's protruded.
I didn't even think of that.
Would be kind of pointless.
Oh man, that's what it's going to be, isn't it?
But the other version of this is a multiple focal length lens, and it's switching between these focal lengths by zooming outside of the actual phone. So maybe it goes from a 24 to a 50. And so you're at 24, you realize you want to zoom in, you hit the button in the software, it protrudes out the back of the phone.
Yeah.
You just got optical zoom to 2x, 48 millimeters. That would be like a cool version of this technology. I don't know that that's what's happening now.
Well, I don't know how I didn't think to read next to the lens. That makes me feel like kind of a moron, but that's what I was hoping for. Basically, I guess the benefit here, because you said we already have these periscope like optical zooms, it would just be eliminating that mirror, right? Which is because then you're just going straight from the lens out, which improves some sort of quality a bit. I mean, like
potentially.
Yeah, potentially. And that seems kind of cool. Do you recall any phones that have done this? There was that, what was that old phone that looked like a camera on the back?
Oh, the Nokia Lumia 1020, I believe?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, I had a yellow one, I think, back in the day. So this one, it had a bunch of moving parts. I think it had even an open and closed shutter. You know how a mirrorless camera will have a shutter that closes? It had that too. It had a big Xeon flash. It was pretty solid. It was a chunky phone, a Nokia Windows phone. But this one, there's a lot of weird things that we see. Like Oppo is kind of like, I feel like the Samsung of China in a lot of ways. They just try stuff. Like they have the Find series where they're like, we'll just have the whole top of the phone move out of the phone and just protrude. Or we'll have like the Find X or whatever other weird design things they want to try.
Them and Vivo seem to be kind of like paving the way. I don't know if that's the right word. They're trying all the fun experiments.
Trying new stuff.
Yeah. I think this would be really cool as long as it actually is benefiting. Like zoom still, I think, is one of the hardest things to do on a smartphone camera. Do well, at least. It pains me to like pinch to zoom on basically any camera.
Something I've noticed about these moving parts in smartphone cameras is they all seem to be workarounds that eventually die. So you know how we had the motorized selfie camera pop up out of the top? For a minute, that was like the best we had, where it was like, we've been shrinking the notch, we've been shrinking the teardrops, then we got hole punch, and then we got nothing, and it was just bezel to bezel, and we had the selfie camera pop out the top, and it was like, a moving part in a smartphone. I don't know if that's good for water resistance or durability. You drop the phone and it would retract based on sensing free fall, but eventually we moved to selfie camera behind the display, and that motorized thing's going away.
Yeah, and that seems like the obvious way. I think we all knew retractable selfie cameras were a Band-Aid.
They were going to go away. Is this a zoom that protrudes out the back also going to be vestigial? Is it going to go away when we get like really good optics inside of phones?
Is the really good optics going to be that we've just like insanely improved digital enhancement when it comes to zooming, or is that going like a super big sensor to where you can digitally zoom well, or is that just going to be they can now slap so many different lenses on the back of a phone and a huge camera bump that you don't need optical, you just have 10 different focal lengths?
So I honestly think Sony might be onto something.
Okay.
So you remember I'm going to forget, I think it's the Xperia 5 Mark II maybe.
Okay.
There was a recent Sony phone where they have the periscope mechanism and they had a lens move laterally inside of the periscope mechanism. And that would change focal lengths. You could snap between, it was something weird like 29 and 73 or whatever.
I remember.
But I don't think the mirror to do the periscope thing out the side loses that much quality at all. Like that's what telescopes are. You're looking in one way and mirroring out the top. I think that's fine. But I think if you're going to have a moving part for real optical zoom with multiple focal lengths inside of a camera, you got to do it with that sideways space because the phone's not thick enough to do it with that space unless you build this.
Unless you do this, yeah.
So that's my gut reaction is like, I think Sony might be onto something if we build a really good channel through the side of the phone for a periscope zoom, and we're able to work with like motors or magnets or whatever it is
laterally
and zoom laterally.
Okay.
That seems like a good way to do it.
So I have a question about this, and it might be because of my lack of knowledge in cameras, but in that sense, could you compare kind of like this Oppo phone that's doing it vertically rather than laterally, like a regular DSLR to a mirrorless? Like you're just eliminating that one mirror, right?
Not quite the same thing. I mean, technically, yes, you're just eliminating one mirror.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I feel like the mirror is sort of fine.
Okay.
I don't think it's changing the quality or anything. I think that was actually a pretty great invention, just folding the whole lens sideways into the phone. So I think we'll see more of that.
Interesting. Okay, so we think this is just kind of if we're taking a bet on this right now.
I think on our way to real optical zoom in a smartphone, we'll find something better than this.
Okay, so now what if Oppo combines this with their notification LED and the camera pops out every time and gives you notification LED?
Then I want one.
Then just
Sign
credit card on the table.
I want
do it. All right, cool.
I'm in. So hey, thanks for watching this clip. Feel free to leave us a like for wearing these incredibly uncomfortable sweaters.
Yeah, Marques has been itching the whole time, so definitely give him a like.
It's a lot. Also,
vote on your best in the comments. Best sweater.
Leave a like for mine and a dislike for that one.
Well, that means it won't count mine at all.
It's all
Give me
likes.
a comment.
It's all likes.
Yeah. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, like, comment, bell notification. Is that it?